Hello everyone, this is Shikha, your English teacher. Now we have come on chapter number 3, Ishwaran the storyteller of our book Moments. Hello everyone, this is Shikha, your English teacher. Now we have come on chapter number 3, Ishwaran the storyteller of our book Moments. The story Ishwaran the Storyteller is written by R.K. Lakshman, that is Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Lakshman. He was an Indian cartoonist and illustrator and best known for his cartoon series Strip that comes in Times of India that started in 1951. So this is one of the finest story written by him, and this is about a fantastic person called Iswaran, and we are going to read about another character Mahendra in this story. So this story is about one night Mahendra woke up from his sleep and saw a dark cloudy form. He broke out into a cold sweat. Was it a ghost? Now it's going to be a very interesting story. So let's see what happened in this story. Some new words from this story: quarry, coal mine, makeshift, portable, sprawled, spread arms and legs carelessly, desolate, inhabitant, conjure up to create with magic, prologue, introduction, anecdote, short amusing story, stamping, crushing, emulation, copying something, outskirt, outer area of town, enthrall, captivated, depredation, damage, menacingly in harmful manner, hypnotized in influence, hauled, transported, tusker, elephant, trumpeted, loud sound of animal, collapsed, fell down, veterinary, taking care of animal, shrug, to raise shoulders in doubt, paralyze, to lose ability to move, credible, trustworthy, inimitable, unique, auspicious, good omen, culinary art, cooking skill, skull, bones of head, shriveled, full of wrinkles, fetus, unborn baby, figment, imagination, vicinity, surrounding, prowl, looking for prey, guttural, harsh sound produced by beck-throat, behold, see, feline, related to cats, panting, breathing quickly, subconscious, related with feeling, resolve, to determine, sulk, be silent, mustering, putting together, wrecked, to hit noisily, not pick up the thread, not restart, to arouse curiosity, reverie, daydream, and moan, crying sound. The story was narrated to Ganesh by a young man Mahendra by name. Now we have met with Iswaran, one of the character, another character is Mahendra, and one of the listener also there, that is Ganesh. So this is the story told by Mahendra to Ganesh. He was a junior supervisor in a firm which offered on hire supervisors at various types of construction sites. Now, Mahendra was a junior supervisor. Now, supervisor means supervise, to look out something, okay, to maintain something according to the skill. So, supervisors, the work of the supervisor is basically to see the things, that the things are going in a perfect manner or not, in a professional way. So Mahendra by profession was a junior supervisor in a company, and that company offered supervisor on various types of construction site. Construction site means wherever the construction work is going on, the industrial work is going on, and their supervisor are needed to look after the work, how the work is going on. So this is the basically work of supervisor. So this is a company which provide supervisors on rent. So this was the profession of Mahendra. He served at different site as a supervisors provider provided by company. And which are the sites? Generally factories, bridges, dams, and so on. So these type of construction sites, they are where the supervisor are needed and provided by the company. Mahen's job was to keep an eye on the activities as the work site. So I told you, Mahendra being a supervisor, it is his duty to supervise, to see that all the activities is going on well or not. He had to keep moving from place to place every now and then as ordered by his head office, from a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site. Now here he has to change its place, means the working place, the hiring place, wherever the requirement for a supervisor has come, the company send Mahendra at different places according to the requirement. So sometimes the requirement can be in a coal mining site, in a railway bridge construction site, from there after a few months to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. And the construction site can also be related with the science related with the construction of a chemical plant. And this time he is going for that after some months, and that was the new place him to join. He was a bachelor. Bachelor is called unmarried. So Mahendra was unmarried. His needs were simple and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions. Now, being a bachelor person means he was alone, a single person, so his needs are very less, very simple, and he was able to adjust in any type of condition. Whether it was an ill equipped circuit house or makeshift canvas tent in the middle of the stone quarry. Now, quarry is called a coal mine, and equipment means necessary item that is required to do any particular work. Makeshift is called a portable. Okay, so these are the examples of different type of conditions on in which Mahendra can adjust himself without any difficulty. Means if the place is ill equipped means all the necessary things are not provided at that place, he can also manage in that place also, and that can be a circuit house or a makeshift canvas. Now portable canvas tent that can be adjusted anywhere in the area. And here quarry is a type of coal mine, and coal mine nearly are situated at the outskirt, means the outer part of the city. So there is no construction, means there is no apartment or any guest house is provided for the coming person who are coming from outside. So Mahendra is a supervisor. He has to come and live on the temporary basis wherever he is working. So where the coal minings are there, sometime he has to put a portable canvas tent, okay, in the middle of that field, and there also he can live leisurely. Now can tent you must have seen when you go to picnic site, or you must have seen the soldiers, the tent that is made from the fabric in the shape of the hut. Okay, so this is a type of temporary house that we have to put to do someone, then they can be again pull them out. Okay, so in this type of tent Mahendra has to live for some days for regarding his work. But one asset he had was his cook Iswaran. Asset is called the property, but one of the finest property he is having, and that was a person named Iswaran. And Iswaran was Mahendra's cook, means he cooks food for Mahendra. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly, whatever, wherever he was posted. Iswaran was from very starting, since the Mahendra started working anywhere. So Iswaran was very much attached to Mahendra. Means wherever Mahendra used to go regarding his office work, Iswaran always accompanied him, and Iswaran never complained about anything. Means what kind of place is this? I'm not going to survive here like this. Okay, means he was also very much adjustable person with as well as Mahendra. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his cloth, and chatted away with his master at night. Now all these activities are done by Iswaran for Mahendra. He cooks for him and he washed his cloth, and at night he had a talk with his master. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on varied subjects. Now he was very much able to telling the story. Now anecdote is called short amusing story. Okay, amusing is called the story that makes someone happy. Okay, so he was very much fond of telling a story and very much skilled in telling his stories, and each and every type of stories, including the anecdote, including the amusing story on various subject, on different subject. Iswaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere in the middle of the desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles around. Now, desolate is called inhabited. The place, the land that is dry. Okay, you can say the deserted land where there is no green area, no living creatures are there. Okay, so this place can be like some coal mining place that are outer part of the city, that is in the most of the outskirt of this town area, and where nobody can imagine the market area, the vegetables shops or other ingredient shop. But at those places also, besides having the skills of cooking, washing, and storytelling, there is another skill in Ishwaran, and that was the capacity that to produce the vegetable and other ingredients like spices, oil, ghee, that is very much required for cooking. That he was able to manage all the things at these places also means, so you cannot imagine the marketplaces at deserted area, but in that area also anyhow nobody knows how Ishwaran managed to bring all the things, cooking related things, and cook delicious food and feed Mahendra. He would miraculously conjure up the most delicious dishes made with the fresh vegetable within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new workplace. Now, zinc sheet shelter means the temporary home. Okay, Mahendra has to go from place to place. Okay, so he is not having a permanent home. At every place, he has to live in a temporary home. So, in those temporary homes, at any of the places, miraculously is called magically, and conjure up is called to create with magic. Okay, so very magically Ishwaran created all the delicious thing with the fresh vegetable, and just in an hour for Mahendra at the new workplace. Wherever Mahendra go, Ishwaran anyhow managed to cook delicious food for Mahendra with the fresh vegetable when even they are not available. So this is a type of magic done by the Ishwaran. Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast. So Mahendra every day has to go for work, so he gets up early in the morning, had his breakfast, and left the home carrying some prepared food with him. And there is a ready food packed in a tiffin by Iswaran, and Mahendra used to take that with him every day. Meanwhile, Iswaran would tidy up the shades, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath. Now, after Mahem's departure, what Iswaran does, Iswaran tidy up is called clean, and shade is home. Wherever Mahendra lives, Iswaran clean that place, clean that home, wash Mahend's clothes, and then have a leisurely bath. Leisurely bath is called comfortable bath. Then Iswaran take a bath comfortably, pouring several buckets of the water over his head. And how he takes bath? By pouring so many buckets of the water over his head. So very interestingly, very amusingly means he takes very much interest in bathing, muttering a prayer all the while. So while taking bathing, he mutters the prayer. Mutter is called speaking very slowly. So with the time of while bathing, he used to bathing, pouring the bucket of water over his head, and at the same time he mutters the prayer, means speak the prayers in low voice while bathing. it would be lunchtime by then. So after finishing all the things, then it became lunchtime. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. So first he takes his lunch, and before he dozing is called to take a nap. Little nap means before going to sleep, afternoon sleep. Okay, after doing so much work, Iswaran must feel tired, so he takes a little rest in the afternoon. But before that, he go on the nap. The book was usually he would read for a while before dozing off. So he likes to read something before he's going for afternoon sleep. The book was usually some popular Tamil thriller running to hundreds of the pages. So some of the popular books related to Tamil thriller stories are there, and they are very thick story books having 100 of the pages. So many pages are there. Its imaginative description and narrative flourishes would hold Ishwaran in thrall. So all the description, whatever is written in the story, that is all written through the imagination. So that is very much liked by Ishwaran. And its narrative flourishes means the way the story is explained. Okay, the story is going on. That is very much excited. And Ishwaran gets enthralled. Enthrall means become very excited. Okay, so after reading all the interesting and imaginative and adventurous story in Tamil from the book, Ishwaran became very excited, and it was his daily routine. Means before going to afternoon sleep, he used to read these Tamil story books. His own description were greatly influenced by Tamil authors that he read. Now, authors means writers. So obviously he used to read stories written by Tamil writers. So his own description on telling the stories is very much influenced with the Tamil writers. When he was narrating even a smallest of the incident, he would try to work in a suspense and a surprise ending into an account. So whenever there is a simple thing, very simple story, very small story even there, even those stories are also told by Iswaran in so suspenseful and wonderful manner, then whoever is there who is hearing his story is going to be very much excited and in a curious manner, that like what is going next. Okay, so he created a type of suspense environment and make the stories and bring the stories to a wonderful end, that whoever is listening to his stories is going to be very excited. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on a highway, he would say. Now, here is one simple example is written, like there is one simple thing, that one tree is fell down on the road and he is passing through that road on a highway. One tree is fell down and he is passing. So this is very simple thing, but how he is going to tell this thing? Then he would say, with eyebrows suitably arched and hands held out in a dramatic gesture. Like first he is going to make the expression. He is going to arch his eyebrows. Arched is called make a curve, means lift his eyebrows. First he will lift his eyebrows. Then he is going to take his hand in a dramatic gesture. Gesture is called sign. Now he is going to make different sign from his hands, and then he started to say, the road was deserted and I was all alone. Now you can see the voice modulation is also there, means with the moduling of the voice, with the alteration of the voice, the person who is sitting before him, he himself is going to understand that yes, it's a type of suspense story. So he is going to tell that the road was deserted, means nobody was on the road and I was alone. Nobody can be seen on the road. Suddenly, I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. Now, spotted is called point out. Enormous is called very huge, very big. Bushy beast is called wild animal. and Sprod is called lying his hands and leg. Okay, so this is the environment he is creating to start the story, that when he was going on the road was all deserted and he was alone, and at the same time he point out towards something. He saw something, and that was very huge wild animal who was lying across the road, lying down his spreading his hands and legs. I was half inclined to turn and go back. Inclined is called intentive, okay, interested, okay, means he was very much half interested to see that who is going there. So I turned back, but as I came closer, I saw that it was a fallen tree. But when I came closer to that thing I was supposing in my mind that it can be a wild animal, a big, huge wild animal. But no, that was a tree that is fell down, that was fallen down with its dry branches spread out, and whatever he was supposing, that is the spread, that is spreading legs and hands of the wild animal, that was not legs and hands of the wild animal, that was the dry branches of the tree that was fell down on the road. Mahendra would stretch himself back in his canvas chair and listen to Iswaran's tales uncritically. Now, Mahendra used to listen to Iswaran's story by sitting on a canvas chair. That was a comfortable chair. You can lie down while listening to the story. So, Mahendra make himself comfortable while he was listening to the story, and he listened all types of story, all kind of story told by Iswaran uncritically. Uncritically is called without judging, okay, without giving any conclusion, without giving any of his feedback, unjudging manner, he is going to listen to the Iswaran story. Why? Because he captivated so much. He was just captivated, as you can say. He was stuck, he was tied in the environment of the story that is created by Iswaran so much that he is just lost in the listening to the story told by the Iswaran. So this is the way of the storytelling of Iswaran. The place I come from is famous for timber. Iswaran would begin. Now, Iswaran is again telling about an incident to Mahendra, that he belongs to a place that is very much famous for timber. Now, timber is a wood that you can find, the tree wood, but timber, after furnishing that wood, when you use that wood to make the furniture and construction wood, that is called timber. So, you can say this furniture is made of timber, okay. There is a richly wooded forest all around. Obviously, if the place is famous for timber, means the forest area was there. So basically Iswaran was belonging to a forest area. The logs are hauled on to the lorries by elephant. Hauled is called to put on, to pulled on. So there are so many big and heavy logs. Logs are called wooden pieces. Wooden pieces that are pulled up on the lorries. Lorries are the vehicles that carry the log pieces, the wooden pieces from one place to another place. So on those lorries, those wooden pieces, big wooden pieces, are piled up by elephant, big elephants. They are huge, well-fed beasts. Now, elephants are very huge, very big, and they well-feed beasts. Beasts are called animal, and well-fed means they eat too much, okay, because they are having so much big bodies, so it's obvious they are going to eat too much. When they turn wild, even the most experienced Mahout is not able to control them. Now, Mahout is the person who used to suppose to control on to keep control on the elephants. But here it is written when the elephant is going to be wild. Wild is called, sometimes they are going to be very much angry. So even the Mahout who is taking care of the elephant, even they are not able to keep a curb on them, means they are not able to control the elephants. After this prologue, Ishwaran would launch into the elaborate anecdote involving an elephant. Now, prologue is called the starting, the introduction, okay? And elaborate means to explain. Anecdote, I told you, the amusing short story involving the elephant. So, after this incident. Means now you can see how much interesting and suspenseful introduction is given by Ishwaran. Means one day he was going on the road and tree was fallen on the road, and he was just supposing it was a wild beast, but that was in fact a tree. He was belonging to that area, so much trees were there. Then the elephant came, and then means like this. Now he came to the story. Now means the story is not started yet. This is just an introduction given by the story, the coming story by Ishwaran, and this is the way Ishwaran captivate all the persons before explaining the story. And this story is going to be including with an elephant. One day, a tusker escaped from a timber yard and began to roam about. Now, tusker is an elephant, and roam about is called moving here and there, wandering here and there. So, one day, one of the elephant came out from the timber yard. Timber yard is called the yard, the open area where the timber logs are kept. So, one of the elephant came out from that open area of the timber, stamping on bushes. Now, stamping means crushing. Crushes bushes means small plants and shrubs. And then elephant came out from the living area of its living area out, and he started crushing all the plants, tearing up the wild creepers and breaking branches at will. Now, creepers are the plant that go nearby the wall and extend it towards the height. Okay, you can say bale. Okay, so he is going to tear all the creepers and breaking all the tree branches. You know, sir, how an elephant behaves when it goes mad. Now, Iswaran is telling to Mahendra that I'm going to tell you the story of an elephant, but you know what is the behavior of the elephant when they are come to their anger? Iswaran would get so caught up in the excitement of his own story that he would get up from the floor and jump about. Now, while Iswaran was telling this story to Mahendra, Iswaran himself started jumping on the floor, get up from the floor, and he in excitement. We means he was himself feeling that excitement of the story in his own body, that he stood on the floor and started jumping, stamping his feet in emulation of a mad elephant. Now, emulation is called copying something, when you are copy something. Okay, so he was telling a story of the elephant, so he was so excited in telling the story that he started copying the behavior, the activities of that mad elephant, and started jumping on the floor. The elephant reached the outskirt of the town, breaking the fences down like matchstick. He would continue. Now, Iswaran continued the story by saying that elephant now reached the outer area of the city, and he started breaking the fences. Fences are the boundary area that are made of maybe metal or maybe wood. So he started breaking all the fences like matchstick. So for elephant, because it's a very huge animal, so all the fences for him were like a matchstick. Okay, so it came into the main road and smashed all the stalls selling fruits, mud pots and cloth. Now elephant entered city area. Now he has come out from the jungle, from the outer area of the town, okay, where the timber yards would be. Now he has come in road on the road inside the city area, in the market area, and he started to smashed is called to break all the things with a loud noise. He started breaking all the foods stall or the mud pots stalls and all the cloths stall. People ran helter skelter in panic. Skelter is called here and there, and panic means in a type of situation when nobody knows how to do, where to go. It's a type of disturbing, okay, situation, that is called panic. So everybody was in a panic condition and going here and there. The elephant now entered a school ground where the children were playing. Now there was a school ground in the city. Now elephant entered in the school ground, and all the school children were playing at that time, means that was a daytime. Breaking through the brick wall, means there was a brick wall, the boundary brick wall of the school was there. Elephant broke the brick wall and entered in the school. All the boys ran into the classrooms and shut the door tight. Now everybody was having so much fear that everybody goes inside the classroom and shut the door very tightly. The beast grunted and wandered about, pulling out the football goalpost, tearing down of the volleyball net, kicking and fluttering the drum capped for the water. Now the wild beast was grunted. Grunted is a type of very harsh sound produced by the animal. Okay, so he was making a very harsh sound, going here and there. He pulled out the football goalpost. He teared the volleyball net, and he was kicking and flattering the drum. Means there was water drums filled with the waters were capped, and he kicked all the water drums and uprooting the shrubs. So many small plants were there in the garden area of the playground area of the school. He just broke all the plants from the playground. Meanwhile, all the teachers had climbed up to the terrace of the school building. From there, they helplessly watched the desperation of the elephant. Now desperation is called the damage. Okay, so all the teachers, all the students, they are not going to understand anything, so in a hurry they all climbed up to the terrace on the top floor of the school, and from there they are going to watch all the destruction made by the elephant. There was not a soul below on the ground. Soul is called a person, means not a single person can be seen on the ground. The streets were empty, as if the inhabitants of the entire town had suddenly disappeared. Inhabitant is called the citizens, the people who are living in that area. Disappeared is called, means no, not visible. Okay, so all the street, all the road, city, suddenly all became empty. Nobody is there because everybody is having fear, because that elephant is gone mad, and that elephant can kick anyone, can hit anyone, can kill anyone. So everybody disappeared suddenly from all the road, from all the street area, from entire town. I was studying in the junior class at that time and was watching the whole drama from the rooftop. Now, Iswaran was telling about himself that at that time he was reading in a junior class. Now, junior class means the primary classes started from class 1 to 5. So, one of the classes Iswaran was studying in that time, and he was watching all the drama, all the destruction made by elephant from the roof of the a school. So I don't know what came over me suddenly. Now something has come in his mind. I grabbed a cane from the hands of one of the teachers and ran down the stairs and into open. Means one of the teacher was carrying a cane. Cane is a type of a stick to beat the students. So Iswaran took a cane from one of the teacher and bring that teacher down to the stair, and he came in the open area. The elephant grunted and menacingly swung a branch of the tree with it held in its trunk. Now, elephant was there and he was grunting, making very harsh sound. Menacingly is called in a very harmful manner. Okay, and swung is the third form of swing, means threw in the air. So there elephant was still making very harsh sound, very harmful manner. In a harmful manner, he swing one of the branch of the tree. He threw one of the tree branch in the air through its trunk. Trunk is the outer part of its body, that is long part. Okay, it stamped its feet, kicking up a lot of mud and dust. Means by the actions, by the activities of the elephant, anybody can say that this elephant gone mad. So he was stamping its feet on the floor and kicking so much mud from the floor, and it all where it was dusty. It looked frightening. Frightening is called very afraiding, means whoever is going to see this scene, he is going to have a very great fear. So everybody was having fear, but I moved slowly towards it, stick in a hand. But Iswaran is telling that I moved, I had the courage. I don't know from where the courage came inside me, and I was moving towards the elephant, and the stick was there in my hand. People were watching the scene, hypnotized from nearby housetops. Now hypnotized is a type of when you are influenced from something in a unconscious manner. Means everybody was looking at this scene that I am going towards, the a little boy is going towards the elephant, that who gone mad, and they all were watching this scene standing on the roof of their house. The elephant looked at me, red eye, ready to rush towards me. Now, red eye means the eyes in anger. So the elephant was very angry. His eyes were very red, and he was ready to rush. Rush is called to run towards me. It lifted its trunk and trumpeted loudly. Trumpet is the sound made by produced by the elephant. Okay, so it lifted is called, it take its trunk up and make very loud sound. At that moment I moved forward and mustering all my force whacked its third toenail off on the quick. Now Iswaran is talking about his courage, that at the same time when the elephant was making so loud sound, at the same time he moved a little forward and mustering all the force. Mustering is called gathering all his force. He ragged is called hit. He hit on his third toenail. Toenail is called the foot nails. Okay, elephant foot nail. So third nail on the third foot nail of the elephant, Iswaran with the all gathered courage hit with that can on his third nail very quickly. The beast looked stunned for a moment. Stunned is called stilled, not moving. So elephant looked at me with the stilled moment, that what has happened. Then it shivered from head to toe and collapsed. Now shivered is called moved very heavy. Okay, that was very heavy, very huge animal. So when I kicked on his third toe, then it pained him very hard, and it shivered from head to toe. Means he was feeling so much pain because the stick was so sharp, and I throw hit that stick on his third no, and it collapsed is called fell down. Means with a very big noise, with a very big loud sound, he fell down on the floor. Who fell down? Elephant. At this point, Iswaran would leave the story unfinished and get up mumbling. Now, mumbling means speaking very slowly that nobody can listen. Okay, so he was mumbling. Now, Iswaran got up in between of the story, leaving here. I will be back after lightening the gas and warming up the dinner. Now he is saying to Mahendra that I'm going to get the dinner ready and I'm going to switching on the gas. Okay, Mahendra would had been listening with rapt attention, would be left hanging. Now rapt is called very attentively. Mahendra was listening to this story, but now suddenly Iswaran got up and say, now I am going into the kitchen. So this action of Iswaran left Mahendra hanging in between. When he returned, Iswaran would not pick up the thread of the story right away. Now, pick up the thread of the story is called started the story from the same point, and to restart means where he left the story, he has to start the story from that point so that the curiosity can be there who is going to listen to the story. Okay, means Iswaran now came back and started the story from the point he left to just keep the curiosity in Mahendra's heart that what happened next. Mahendra would have to remind him that the conclusion was pending. Now, now Iswaran came back, but he is not going to tell the rest part of the story. So Mahendra told him that you have not told me the conclusion that is remained. Well, a veterinary doctor was summoned to revive the animal. Now, veterinary doctor is called the animal doctor. The doctors who are taking care of the animals, they are called veterinary doctor. So, summoned is called to revive. Revive is called to means to take care of the to take in the back position. So what happened with the elephant, he was not able to get up, so one of the veterinary doctor called to take care of the elephant's condition. Then Ishwaran would shrug casually. Shrug is called when you are taking your shoulders up in a casual movement. In a doubt means I don't know what happened. Means he is taking this thing so simple. Means this thing is very much very big for Mahendra, but Ishwaran was taking this thing very lightly. Okay, that's why he was just raising his shoulders in a doubtful manner. Then what happened? A doctor came and did the checkup of elephant. Means the so simply he told this thing. 2 days later, it was led away by its mahot to the jungle. Now, led away is called taking away. Mahot is the take carer of the elephant. So, what happened after 2 days when the elephant became fine? Then Mahot came and took the elephant back to the timber yard. Well, how did you manage to do it, Ishwaran? How did you bring down the beast? Now, Mahendra was so curious after listening to the story that Mahendra was asking to Ishwaran that how a little boy can manage to collapse so big huge animal. How you do this? It has something to do with the Japanese art, I think so, karate or jujutsu it is called. Now Iswaran is again telling that I'm going to manage it just because of the art. That is a karate, means that was a martial art, a type of fighting art. So because with the help of that art I managed to do it. I had read about it somewhere. It temporarily paralyzes the nervous system, you see. Now again, the reading capacity, the reading power of Iswaran that he is having since his childhood, that again helped him. Means somewhere he read about this Japanese art that at this area, means at the third toe of the foot of any beast animal, if we hit on that area, it is going to be breakdown of the nervous system. Nervous system is regarding with the brain. Okay, so when I hit at that area on the third toe area of the elephant, it is going to be paralyzed. Paralyzed is called not feeling any type, not feeling any type of sensation, not feeling, means there is no energy. You cannot do anything, you cannot stand, you cannot walk, you cannot speak, like that. It is a type of paralyzed. Okay, half dead. So it make the nervous system, the brain system paralyzed. So that's why I read it somewhere, so I did this thing at that time. Not a day passed without Iswaran recounting some stories packed with the adventure, horror, and suspense. A day passed, not a day passed means not a single day is gone when Iswaran is not going to tell me the story having adventure, horror, and suspense. Every day he tells me a new story, whether the story was credible or not. Credible is called trustworthy, means when you can make a trust on that story or not. Mahendra enjoyed listening to it because of the inimitable way in which it was told. So inimitable is called when you are unique, very unique, means you are not copying anyone. There is a unique way of telling a story of your own. So there is a very unique way of telling the story by Iswaran, and this way is liked and enjoyed by Mahendra very much. So without any complaint, without putting any logic in the story, he enjoyed to listen to the story. Iswaran seemed to more than make up for the absence of a TV in Mahendra's living quarters. Because Mahendra quarters is called apartment or a temporary home. So Mahendra used to live at different places in the temporary home. So the facility of TV was not there, but Mahendra never felt the absence of the TV because Iswaran was with him, who used to entertain him every day by telling different sorts of stories. One morning when Mahendra was having breakfast, Iswaran asked, "Can I make something special for dinner tonight, sir?" Now, one day Mahendra was having his breakfast. Iswaran came and asked, "May I prepare some delicious preparations for dinner tonight?" After all, today is an auspicious day. Auspicious is called holy, that we say in Hindi, Shubh. So, that was a holy day. According to tradition, we prepare various delicacies to feed the spirits of our ancestor today, sir. Various is called many. Delicacies means different tasty food items. Spirits are the souls of the dead people, and ancestor means a forefather. The successors means like a grandfather, grandmother who are dead now. So this was the holy day when we used to offer delicious food to our forefathers. So for this day, to celebrate this day, Iswaran was seeking permission from Mahen to cook some delicious food in dinner. That night, Mahendra enjoyed the most delicious dinner and complimented Ishwaran on his culinary skills. Complimented when you are praising someone, and culinary skills is called cooking art. So that night, Mahendra ate very delicious dinner and praised Ishwaran for feeding him so well, so delicious food. He seemed very pleased but unexpectedly launched into a most garish account involving a supernatural. He was eating and having enjoying the dinner, but unexpectedly means you cannot imagine what happened. Launched is to called came up, okay, and garish is called too colorful, that is disliked, okay, means that was too colorful. Something happened means the dinner was okay, dinner was very delicious, and Mahendra also praised Iswaran for the dinner, but what something happened like that, that is not at all liked by Mahendra, that was having involving something supernatural. Supernatural is called, that is not natural, okay. So what has happened that night that is not liked by Mahendra, now we are going to see. You know, sir, this entire factory area we are occupying was once a burial ground. He started. So after having dinner, his friend started telling story, and he's telling that the factory area where right now the Mahendra was working, that used to be a burial ground. Occupying to fill the place, and burial ground is the ground where the dead bodies are burnt, okay. So my Iswaran was telling the factory where you are having the factory right now, that once was a burial ground. Mahendra was jerked out of the pleasant reverie he had drifted into after the satisfying meal. Now, after having so delicious food, Mahendra feel a jerked. Jerked is called a movement, okay? Pleasant reverie. Reverie is called a daydream. So that was a very pleasant, very happy daydream that he had a so delicious food. But after that delicious dinner, he is going to listen to a kind of story that made him total jerked, means that made him shivered. I knew one the first day itself when I saw a human skull lying on the path. Now, human skull means the dead body's bony part of the head. Okay, so one of the bony part of head, that is called in Hindi khopri. Okay, so that was lying down on the factory area when Iswaran was coming one day. Even now, I came across a number of skulls and bones. Iswaran continued. Now, Iswaran is saying, whenever I came from that area, always I going to find so many human skulls lying on that area of the dead humans. He went on to narrate how he sometimes saw ghosts at night. Now, Vishwaran is making its story a little horrible, and he was saying, Mahen, that he is going to see different type of ghost at night during the night. Ghost means bhoot. I'm not easily frightened by these things, sir. I'm a brave fellow. Now, Iswaran was saying, I'm not going to have a fear by seeing all these kind of things because I am a brave man. But one horrible ghost of a woman which appears of at midnight during the full moon. But he is talking about one of the horrible ghosts that was of a woman, and that he saw at the night of the full moon. Full moon night, that you say Puranmashi, okay, Purnima, that was the night, and on that night during the midnight he saw a ghost of a woman. It is an ugly creature with matted hair and a shriveled face. Now, that was ugly. Ugly is called not beautiful. That ghost was very ugly. That was not beautiful at all. And that is having very untidy and unmanaged hair and shriveled face. Shriveled is called filled with the wrinkles. So many wrinkles were there on her face, like a skeleton holding a fetus in its arm. Skeleton means the bony part, the full bony body, okay? Means it was looking like a skeleton was coming and he was holding a fetus. Fetus is called unborn baby, okay, in his arms. So that horrible woman ghost was very horrible, not beautiful at all. His hair was unmanaged, he spreaded here and there, and his face was full of wrinkles, and she was holding a unborn baby in her arm. Now Mahendra shivered at the description and interrupted rather sharply. You are crazy, Iswaran. Now means Iswaran was creating so horrible environment to tell the story that Mahendra started shivering. Means he started feeling a type of fear on this description, and he interrupted. Interrupted is called when you are stopping someone in between, and sharply. Sharply is called with force. So Mahendra said it with force and stopped Iswaran in between. You are crazy, Iswaran means you are mad. There are no such things as ghost or spirits. There are no ghost, no spirits. It is all of nonsense. It is all a figment of your imagination. Now, figment means when you are making the things imaginatory things that not real but it seems real. So these are all the imagination that are not real. Get your digestive system examined and maybe your head as well. You are talking nonsense. Now Mahendra is getting a little angry, so he was telling to Iswaran that go to doctor and get your digestive system checked, get your head checked. You are talking all the nonsense thing, all the things that is having no sense, no intelligence. He left the room and retired for the night, expecting Iswaran to sulk for a couple of days. Now Mahendra went out from the room and just to sleep at the night, and he was expecting, he was imagining that Iswaran is not going to talk to him for a couple of days, means for 2 days. Sulk is called when you are having a type of disappointed feeling, not angry, but you are having be silent, not talking to anyone, means something is there that in fact that affect you and you are not talking. So this type of behavior Mahendra were expecting from uh, Iswaran, because he scolded Iswaran that night. But the next morning he was surprised to find the cook as cheerful and talkative as ever. But what happened this? Next morning when he got up, Iswaran was as cheerful, means he was same like as before. He was happy and he was cheerful and talking too much. From that day on, Mahendra, for all his brave talk, went to bed with a certain unease. Now, from that day, from the day when Iswaran told about this horrible story, Mahendra is not going to feel very easy. Means Mahendra was not comfortable on his bed when he go to sleep. When he goes to sleep, every night he peered into the darkness outside through the window next to his bed. Now there is a window next to his bed, and he peered means peep out, looked out from the window, and there what can see the darkness of the night out of the window, trying to make sure that there was no movement of the dark shapes in the vicinity. Now vicinity is called neighborhood, the surrounding area, okay? So whenever he goes on the bed every day, he peep out, looked out from the window, all over there darkness, and he console himself that see, there is no thing, nothing is there, no shapes are there, go to sleep. Means he try to carry the positive things in his mind. But he could only see a sea of darkness with the twinkling lights of the factory miles away. But what else he can see out of the window? The all the surrounding is full of darkness. Nobody can see anything except the light that was coming from the factory area. Means the factory was constructed miles away, very far, but the twinkling light, but the small light shades, the ray of the light can be seen coming from the factory, except that no else light was there. All over, all the darkness is spreaded out of the window. He had always liked to admire the milk white landscape on the full moonlights. Mean on during the full moonlights, when the moon shines in its full shape, then that night is used to be with the light, with the white light, with the sparkling light. So this full moon night is liked very much by Mahind, and he used to admire, means praise. He used to like this full moonlight. But after hearing Iswaran's story of the female ghost, he avoided looking out of his window altogether when the moon was full. But when the Iswaran told this horrible story of the ghostly woman, he had a feared to look out from the window during the full moon night. Mahendra was woken up from his sleep by a low moan close to his window. So one night Mahendra was sleeping, but suddenly he got up because he listened to a moan sound. Moan is a means crying sound. Somebody was crying near the window. At first he put it down to a cat prowling around for mice. Now prowling is called to look for its prey. So first, at the first instance, he thought that it must be a cat who is looking for to catch a mouse. But the sound was too gruttled for a cat. Gruttled is called, means very harsh sound produced by the back throat. Means somebody, cat is a type of small creature, so that cannot, the type of sound he can hear, that is cannot be produced by a cat. That was a very harsh and very heavy sound produced by the back throat. He resisted the curiosity to look out lest he should behold a sight which would stop his heart. Now he was resisted is called, he was very much interested, and there was a curiosity that who is crying, but he was very much feeling a type of resistance, but he was feeling a type of fear in beholding. Now behold is called to see, means he was very much feeling a type of resistance, that he is not going to look out from the window and to see a type of scene that can stop his heart. Means he is feeling a type of fear that there cannot be, means there can be a horrible scene outside of the window which he doesn't want to see. But the wailing become louder and less feline. Louder is called too high, and feline is called related to the cat. But the crying but the sound of the crying became louder and louder, and that was not at all seeming that the sound can be of cat. He could not resist the temptation anymore. Temptation is called when you are, something is attracting you, and resist is stop. Okay, so he could not stop himself from finding out that what exactly there, who is crying out there. Lowering himself to the level of the window sill, he looked out at the white sheet of the moonlight outside. Now he was not peeping out full out of the window. He is just taking his eyes out of the windowsill and looking outside. There is a complete white sheet spread all over the outside of the window, and that white sheet was the full moonlight night. There, not too far away, was a dark, cloudy form clutching a bundle. Now, what he saw that night, there was a dark, cloudy form, means there was a not definite shape of that body, means a body shape type he saw, and clutching is called holding, and that shape was holding something in her arm. Mahendra broke into the cold sweat and fell back on the pillow. Now, cold sweat is called when the sweat's coming, when you are sweating with the fear. Okay, so a very sharp fear fell into the body of Mahendra, and he was sweating too much, and he got so much fear that he just came back running towards his pillow and panting. Panting is called, he started breathing very increasingly. When the breath comes very high, very frequently with the speed, then it is called panting. So he was feeling very much too much fear after seeing that shadow in the dark night clutching something in her arm. He got so much fear that he came back to his pillow and is breathing very increasingly, very highly. As he gradually recovered from the ghastly experience, he began to reason with himself. Now, ghastly experience is horrible experience, and gradually is called slowly. Recovered is called feeling fine. Now, after some time, he is feeling fine and try to get over, means get out from this horrible experience, and begin to reason is called to think logically, and started think logically, and finally concluded that it must have been some sort of autosuggestion. Now autosuggestion is called when you are giving yourself some consolation, means when you are producing some imagination from your own mind, okay, then this is called autosuggestion. So concluded is called resulted. So after some days he resulted that it was nothing, there was no shadow was there, he has seen nothing, that was just a imagination of its own mind, some trick that his subconscious had played on him. Now subconscious is related to the feelings that cannot be seen, only felt, okay. So some of the tricks are there that is played by its subconscious mind, by this feeling. So this was just an imagination, nothing horrible was there that he saw that night. But the time he had got up in the morning, had a bath, and come out to have his breakfast. Now Mahendra has just set up in his routine, daily routine. He got up in the morning, took bath, and took the breakfast. The horror of the previous night had faded from his memory. Faded is called dimmed. Okay, so what the horror was there of seeing a dark shadow outside of a window, now it's dim from his memory. Iswaran greeted him at the door with his lunch packet and his bag. Now, Iswaran came to him to see him off with the lunch packet and its bag. Just as Mahendra was stepping out, Iswaran grinned and said, now, grinned means showing a smile with the teeth, means when you are smiling, your teeth are visible. That is called grin. So, Mahendra was just stepping out, just was going out from the gate. Then Iswaran smiled and said, sir, remember the other day when I was telling you about the female ghost with the fetus in its arm? Now Iswaran again started telling about that women ghost that I told you. You remember, sir? Previous night I told you a story about the ghost of a woman who was holding an unborn baby in her arm. Then you were so angry with me for imagining things, means you were so angry, you were scolding me and being so angry on me that I'm going to tell you so imagining thing. Well, you saw her yourself last night. Now Iswaran was saying that I know that is not imagination, you saw that lady, that horrible lady, that ghost lady last night. I came running hearing the sound of moaning that was coming from your room. Means Iswaran also told that he also listened to the sound that was coming from the room of Mahendra, and that sound was of the lady that was a ghost, and he also saw that ghost last night outside of the window of Mahendra's room. A chill went down Mahen's spine. Now, spine is called a spinal cord, and chill means a type of cold fear. So, a type of horrible feeling, a horrible fear has went through the spine of the Mahen. He did not wait for Iswaran to complete his sentence. He cannot wait that Iswaran can say the sentence and complete his sentence. He hurried away to his office and handed in his paper. Now, he very quickly had towards his office and handed over the papers, resolving to leave the haunted place the very next day. And what was those papers? That was the leave paper that he is not going to continue to work at this cursed place or this horrible place, because whatever will be there, the imagination or the truth, but the ghost of that woman carrying the unborn baby in her arm was seen by Iswaran as well as Mahendra. So that was a very different and a little horrible touch story by R.K. Lakshman. I hope you enjoyed. Now you try to explain this story yourself. So that's it for now. We'll meet again.